In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy CryptoKeeper, and we are here on a TA Thursday around the charts. We've got two of the latest, the great, actually not the latest, you guys have been around for a while, but two of the greatest in the TA space. We've got CryptoFace and CVO. Face, how you doing this evening, brother?
Good, man. Thank you for having me. How you guys doing?
I am living the dream. CVO, how are you, brother?
Man, I'm enjoying the winter wonderland. Just put up my two Christmas trees.
I see that.
Doing well, man. Thanks for always welcoming me onto the show. Pleasure to be here with you and CryptoFace tonight. Looking forward to it.
Man, I got to tell you, I'm digging the background. That's
me too,
you just have
dude.
This perfect vibe. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was
clean.
thinking.
Very clean.
You've got the clean.
It's snowing here in Florida, so
man. Florida's where it's at, man. I need to move to Florida.
I know and hey, Florida, Bahamas. I mean, just somewhere hot all the time. Well, shoot, you're hot you have heat all the time where you're at anyway. Face.
Yeah.
So, come on now, you always got heat. You already got the heat. I'm up in Ohio. I get the actual cold weather. We've had a couple of days.
You look like you're in the hottest spot, dude, wearing the tank top. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. That's right. We were talking. So chat.
Looks like you're cooking lobster or getting ready to
this is a fact.
Cooking bacon naked, or you getting ready to, get ready.
I want to hear it from the chat. So if you're not a part of Danger Close Alpha, make sure you jump into the Discord, get involved. We got the DCA fam. Hey, listen, we were talking about this before the show. I want to know in the chat. Drop a yes or a no in the chat if you would be interested in purchasing a custom DCA vest. So it would have the Danger Close Alpha, and then maybe we could talk about having your name, a special name patch on the back. The second part, not so positive, but for sure with the DCA patches, let me know yes or no if you'd be interested in jumping on and getting yourself a vest. Maybe it's
bulletproof, and that's a bulletproof vest. That's not some sweat. That's not to keep you warm. It's to keep your vitals.
Woo! It does keep you warm. It does keep you warm, though. That's for sure.
I bet. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, I'd buy one.
It is a little hot sometimes. So make sure to smash the likes. Follow CryptoFace. Follow CVO. Both their Twitter and their YouTube are down below the stream. So make sure to check that out. Give them a follow if you're not already following them. Let's take a peek at the market, and then we will dive into the TA. Actually, I might start off asking a couple questions about something else, and then we'll dive into TA. But let's take a look at the market. Let me update this. We have got the total global cryptocurrency market cap at $859.32 billion with a B dollars. That's up 2.09%. We're up above 17 on Bitcoin, 17,218, and ETH has been just hanging out right around that 1250 to 1300 number, but it's up 3.54% today. That's a positive. Good thing for Tether. We're staying strong at $1. Love seeing that. And then the rest of the 10, pretty boring. Same thing as you're seeing with Bitcoin and ETH, up a couple percent. XRP up at 39 cents. Dogecoin approaching 10 cents. I think your boy Elon has been making some moves happen there. And then Polygon Matic rounding out the top 10 at 92 cents. So let me kick off before we get into some TA. I want to know, are we thinking, with no charts involved, are we thinking that the bottom is in or that we have some capitulation to go? I'll start with you, Face.
Well, my thoughts for the past couple months was that October, November was going to be, I guess you could say, a little bit of relief. It's very jolly. It's been a lot of negative stuff the past couple years. And so I think, maybe we cherish the holiday season that much more. I know I certainly am. And we've come down quite a lot. There's been a lot of blood. And so I'm not surprised that there's some positive action, in October, November, early December. But I believe most likely that come January, things I think things will have the highest chance of being uglier. And so, yeah, it's hard for me to see the price, see crypto right now and where it's at and how early it is in its adoption. Really breaking away from the market. I think it's probably gonna go lower.
So if Face thinks we got some more pain, CVO, I see you shaking your head. Yes. Are you kind of on the same page?
So, I mean, we've come into the time aspect, right? I think everybody can agree on that. We were looking for the 1-to-1 in time coming in on the 7th of November for quite a while. Obviously, we got that last leg down, at least of recent, on the 8th, which is one day later. FTX, however you want to look at it. Timing was coming in right there, right? That's essentially your 1 year anniversary. For anybody's looking at like a 4-year cycle idea, which I was a huge advocate of in the past, but I just think that can't be. You can't be blinded by that idea going forward, in my opinion. I more so feel that we're like building out, like I said, like I brought it before with the housing market and any other, major asset class as it matures. They go into larger, cycles if you're going to be looking into anything like that. And something like a 20-year cycle, I think, is what we're kind of building out, the first one for Bitcoin. So, as far as that goes, I mean, I think that, if we get a rally from here, the recipe is there. I think the timing is there. I think that everybody would fall in love with that idea pretty immensely. But I agree that I think that, we'll probably still have a little bit more down to go, towards the and whatever, when will that change, is the question, and, start, making some real big headway above, certain areas and start closing on like monthly positions and things of that nature. It can change that. But for now, 13.8, man, is still a big one for us, going forward. So, but when we get there's a question. So,
no, I'm looking forward to seeing the charts on it. Looking forward to hear what Market Cipher has to say, because for those of you that follow me or followed me for any amount of time, I play around a little bit with trading, but it's not my strong suit. It's not my forte. It's the reason that we bring on the experts onto the show. Either myself or Crusader, we both like to bring on people that this is what they do. And you've got two guys here that absolutely this is what they do. Face, I think I saw you doing like $1 million trade the other day. Was that something I saw a live stream going on? Was that
Yeah,
correct?
I'm in another one. I closed the one from a day or two ago. Didn't make as much as I wanted, but it's all good. I was able to get out half it at like 17.3 and the rest a little bit lower. I'm sharing my screen.
Were you now on that particularly, you trade on some pretty low time frames, correct? When you're trading with that kind of money, with that kind of capital, are you looking at pretty low short time frames? Is that correct?
It depends on the environment. I trade all time frames. There's times where I'll be, there's times where I'm geeking, on that 5 minute, even the 30 second, looking at the 30 seconds. Sometimes it all depends.
Wow.
Sometimes I'm trading off the weekly. So it's, I'm not trading with the amount that I used to back, when I was, like trading on Bybit and stuff. After that, after like I had the whole leaving Bybit, the amount of money I was trading with certainly went down a lot. Just for numerous different factors. But it don't matter the time frame. It's about the environment. Looking at the weekly here on Bitcoin, even though I kind of think, still things in January are most likely to kind of be crappy. In the short term, I'm kind of bullish, man. I'm long right now.
Okay.
Taking a look at the weekly, we actually have a slightly outward curve yellow VWAP wave, our yellow wave. And, even if it's not much, even if it's in the 18s, that's kind of, what I'd be happy with if we can get into the 18s. That's coming up. We're still at just making a lower low on the money flow. So that's not good. Other than that, the RSIs are low, but that don't really mean nothing. We haven't been there for long enough, but I do like what I see there on the weekly. Zooming in a little bit, money flow on the 2-day and the daily. The daily actually looks good because we're just seeing higher highs or higher lows, just an increase of really it's a divergence between the money flow and the price.
Okay.
And so I think there is room for price to come up very soon, but I how much, I don't know. My guess is, probably not much. Hell, if we're lucky, maybe you can draw. That was a very shitty straight line,
that was nice.
I mean, and I'm just throwing crap in the wind here. Hell, if we got to 18.6, I think it's a miracle. And
Okay.
you know, in bear times, like I always try to whatever I think it's going to get to, you know,
Go
lower
lower.
that, you
Go
know, again,
lower.
10-20%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm playing you know, but 2 accounts, one for the longer term, one for the short term trades. That's what's important to me. Not mix. I think that's what's probably important for a lot of people is, you know, not playing hot potato with one trade.
Yeah.
You know, ease the pressure off yourself. If you're looking for the longer term play, have a trade for longer term play, and then have another account or a different trade for the shorter term plays. So that's what I'm doing. I'm playing patty cake, taking my time, and you know, taking the wins as they come.
Yeah.
And the Sig Sauer, man, the Sig Sauer and the 4-hour looking good with the money flow as well. It was nice and curved, kind of straightened out a little bit. And typically that means it's kind of just like a little bit weaker than normal. So it was a little sketch there. It was a little sketch. You know, we had the price come down a little bit there. What's the DBSI looking like? DBSI is looking like dual band strength index looking good. A couple little numbers coming on the bull. And good weakness on the bear side. So, you know, is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Short
I'm
term, a little
long.
bullish
Yeah,
action.
I got a milli long right now. Yeah, man. I mean, shit.
What kind of leverage? What's the kind of leverage you've got popping on that?
This is 5x, which is
Okay.
it's probably a little dangerous.
Okay.
But
well, don't talk to CVO about
right
dangerous.
Now, but I'm over doubled. But you know, I've started with this account 2.5 weeks, so I'm happy. I guess, you know, I'm happy.
No, that's super fire. I think everybody, if you guys are looking for what CryptoFace was just using, it's Market Cipher. That should be down below the video. If you guys are looking for Market Cipher, it's an easy way to be able to read the charts. You can go on the website as well. It's got some really good explainers, some simple explainers, and it's a way to really give you a good view of what's happening. Especially the thing that I like about it is you can be brand new to trading and it can give you a guide, and you can be an expert like somebody like Face, and it's still giving you those indicators. Maybe you're just using them in a little bit different fashion. So I definitely like Market Cipher. If you guys want to check that out, it should be down below the stream. CVO, we you know, CryptoFace looks at money flow quite a bit, coming in and out. I know you guys look at a lot of time frames and ranges. What kind of numbers specifically are you looking for right now? I know somebody, a little birdie, sent me a text earlier, you know, that he was doing well on one of his trades. And are you doing well in Bitcoin as well? I know that was ETH earlier. What are we looking at here?
So yeah, just kind of zooming in a little bit here for Bitcoin, right? So I wanted to kind of point this one out. We talked about this on our morning stream for a couple of days as we led into it, right? That most people are going to probably start identifying this triangle right here, which, you know, essentially could go either way. You know, you got measured moves for both sides. Technically, actually, the lower side got hit. And if you're looking at that only, right? So this was a breakout to the upside. You had new longs coming in, people, breakout traders, everybody getting, you know, anticipating a move to the upside. At this point, we came up, and the way we were looking at this in the group was, you know, we posted that the weekly open right here was our key level to really kind of claim for any more upside. Otherwise, this was just you know, essentially this was a, you know, I think people refer to it as like liquidity grabs or this or that, but essentially you came up, you took the highs, right? So you stopped out everybody here and even all the way over here. So this was basically the entire week for anybody trying to short, got stopped out more than likely, maybe not every single person, but, you know, you have to imagine that probably most people didn't, you know, get in right here either. They were probably starting to short in this region with the stop loss. Like, you know, you're going to have, if you're entering in this position, you know, your stop loss is a good amount away, right? Depending on how much leverage you're going with. So we got that move to the upside, right? Got the close below the weekly open. And at the time, we had this untapped weekly key level here. So this was the average of price for last week. High statistical target, about a 70% hit rate that you come back to this within the next week. So from there, you know, you got the move up, close everybody out. New longs came in, wicked them all down, took out all these lows now, met the statistical target. And then one thing out when we were on Sin City Crypto yesterday, we were talking about, you know, this scenario where you can't necessarily preset. This is more so a target than an area to just like blindly buy, because you get this, right? You get the blow through. And what you want to look at for this, and once again, this is a short-term idea. Like I'll get into some longer stuff here in a second, but, you know, you blew through it and you really want to see that reclaim here, right? So when you start to zoom out on some higher time frames, you'll see that. Did get a wick here on Bybit, which was everything kind of took a hit earlier today. pullback. Bybit was actually a few exchanges where the price action actually took the low there. So another indication that we were probably going to see a pretty nice move to the upside, right? Very similar to this. Take the highs, rip it down, take the low, rip it up.
It's wild. It's almost like there's a game plan behind the scenes. I mean,
always, man. Always.
Go down to on Bybit? It went down. I mean, it went on Bitget, it was 16.726. What was that on? What did it go down to? On
this one went down the lowest, I think 16.6. So a lot of the other exchanges, like, it didn't even come down and take the low.
You know what though? I'm also on USDT, so it's a little different than So that is to be said. If anyone's like, oh, like that's it's a different trading pair too. So just saying.
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, so we're looking for this weekly open, right? So this is our major area at the moment to really be taking a look at. If you zoom out to a daily time frame, you can see how well this level has been respected and, you know, really keeping us down. So to break above and hold this as support, this region has been the gateway to, you know, the next level to the upside. So as far as,
you're looking to hold $17,098.
Yeah, and this is just, you know, just to kind of take us up a little bit more here. You know, I'm not saying that the bottom is in and we're going to skyrocket, because we did leave a good amount of things below here. So it's really going to depend on how, you know, what your strategy is here. And I guess I'll take a look at the lower side for the time being, right? So when you look at the overall range that we're in, so we utilize, you know, range data based on volume. And first one we'll take a look at here is actually the previous week. So when we came into this week in the group here, we identified that you had this P-shaped profile, right? So you had a lot of the volume coming in at the high of the range. This is indicative of continuation, right? So to the upside, and the, you know, vice versa. When you see a lowercase b, it's an indication that you're going to see continuation to the downside. So for the short term here, while we did have some plays in intermediate here, you know, anticipating a move up to some of these next levels here, you know, is definitely in the cards. If for some reason, and that's one of those things, you got to still remain neutral, right? And still kind of have your levels marked out, you know, having validations, of course, because you also got to realize we are coming up to the high of the range at the moment. And if you zoom out actually to our overall range that we've been in for quite some time, you'll note that we are at the overall high there as well, right? So peaking above it at the moment, so a slight deviation. Once again, this is another reason why that weekly open was so important. But essentially, I'll go ahead and put a little, we'll dress this up real quick, right? So the overall range we've been in here, you know, coming back in, start closing back below, really losing that weekly open is the key, right? 17.98. Start closing back below that right now, and more than likely we'll probably rotate this range back. At the current high, you got a golden pocket right down here. This is also a daily level as well, right there at 16,200. So once again, there's, you know, levels to the downside that kind of have to confluence around each other, and as well as it being the range low. So this would be, you know, an area to kind of pay attention for. Once again, trigger on that is coming back in, start losing this 4-hour time frame at, you know, things of that nature, coming back down below 17.98. As far as upside goes at the moment, what I'm looking for here, right? So
just real quick while you're sorry. I thought you were going to be a second. Continue. I thought you were going to be a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, taking a look at this now actually is, you know, aside from you do have some deviation here, which essentially, you know, this is when you want to be alert. You want to start looking for opportunities for shorts. However, like the short is, once again, re-enter the range, get the back test, basically lose your weekly open. That's your short. Other than that,
so retesting it, coming back up, tapping it again effectively, and then headed back
something
down.
like that.
Okay.
Aside from that, however, you know, kind of, you know, once again, piecemealing kind of more things together here is like that previous week. Once again, you had that indication that we're going to see continuation to the upside. One big thing to note, if you can see it marked here, is this level right here. This is another high statistical target. Comes in at $18,019. Very, very high probability we're going to meet that this month.
Where is that number coming from?
18. This is the average of last month. So,
okay, last month's average. Okay.
Yeah. So 18,000. Once again, it's not a guarantee by any means. It's just a high probability, right? So
yeah.
You got the Q2 low right here, which is also an untapped daily level as well. So not to overlook this region is 17,600. I think many people have talked about that quite a bit. Once again, that's the June low essentially. So looking for something like that. And then one thing I do want to point out at this exact moment is we just closed a daily, right? We're outside the range right now. And just like essentially, if you were to come back in and get the back test, we're technically getting a back test right now at the high. So a move to the upside, you know, is to be anticipated at the moment, right? So taking another look at this from another
Are
angle.
you saying to move higher than what it is now, or the move that
Yeah, from here,
happened?
you know, looking forward to, unless we start closing back below 1798, looking up towards the quarter low, the 17,600, and perhaps even as high as the $18,000 area in the short term here.
You think that's like how short to like? You think that's you think we're going up one? You think we're going up a little bit coming up here? Short term.
I would say probably.
I got money on the line, bro. I got money on the line.
That's right. That's right. There's a milli. There's a milli on the
I
line
would
here,
say
TVO. No pressure.
Leading into the news for next week, I think that we would probably see this. And once again, this is just speculation at this point, right? But we have the Fed meeting, we have PPI, we have CPI, all the things lined up next week. And if we get to these levels before those meetings, which we always, I don't say always, but we a lot of times we'll see an inverse move up until that comes, right? Or even if we get to this level, you get the 50 basis points, everybody FOMO's in, you know, at a pretty decent target right here, right? This is a really big area to possibly even see something like this where we run it up and we come right back down and meet that level that I was just talking about, that untapped daily, got a golden pocket. Actually, I'll cover it here in a second. But yeah, and then coming between now and next week, I think that this is likely. And then, like I said, the invalidation of that is coming back below 1798 and start closing 4-hour candles, things of that nature. So looking at this as well, looking at this target here, also we have a high time frame regression as well that lines up pretty nicely with this also. So
sorry, hold on a second.
Okay.
Addison wants to remind everybody: get a hardware wallet, do your thing, get your money off these exchanges. They are not going to do you any good, as you have seen recently.
Always for the
I feel safe on never mind. I like the Chinese exchanges.
Oh, the Chinese ones are good, man. Until they're not, right?
Yeah, sure.
They're all good until they're not.
Yeah,
they're all good.
Do your research. Do your own research, people.
DYOR, everybody.
There's very few. There's actually very few. There's very very few that I could actually trust with like a lot of money.
Definitely a good idea to keep. And that's the thing, like a trading. I mean, you got millions on the line. Obviously, you have to have that in the exchange, and I'm sure that's a fraction of your portfolio, of course. But
it's everything I have.
I'm sure. Yeah,
at all times, I'm always trading 100% of my portfolio.
5x, no stop loss. I'm in. But so yeah, that's kind of the what I'm getting at here. Once again, nothing's guaranteed, but this is the idea at hand at the moment, right? And then, like I said, you had the high time frame regression right here, came down, obviously catches that really nicely. We're living above the heart line of that and piecing it into
pretty little chart there. All right, making me believe. Come on, baby.
And then but from that area, obviously, like I said, really want to pay attention to see how things go. If we just blow right through that, I mean, you're talking, you got the golden pocket up here in this region, and
where were those lines? Where do those lines begin? The top one where it crossed the very top of the 18 that you just had.
19.
Yeah. Can you zoom out?
Zoom out. Yeah, it's basically from this quarter, so Q4. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just it leads into that region, and then this would be a straight.
I like it.
Yeah,
and I mean, that golden pocket on your long would be a beauty face, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would. But I'm sure everybody's gonna be like, this is the idea too at hand, is that if say that we move up to this region by, I mean, even the time on this is Wednesday the 14th. Like, how about that, right? That's Wednesday the 14th. That's Fed Day. If this met on the exact moment, but 50 basis points comes out, everybody's
is that what you're thinking?
Jumps in the market, and then this could very well be the short idea, right? So you might get a little deviation here. I think everybody's gonna be targeting this golden pocket, but could very well get front ran. But once again, this is why you kind of strategize ahead of time, right? So if you get to these levels, you're not just panicking and FOMOing in and chasing. You're not going to want to be buying in right at 18,000, in my opinion, right? So. And if you get there, we could very well just flip the script and head back down to the bottom of this and tag 13,800 right now, and then bottoms in and we move on, or whatever the case. I mean, not to say 13,800, 800 has to be
stop
bottom,
loss. Hopefully, you got a stop loss in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, not with Face, man. He's all in 5x.
That's right, all in 100x.
Well, good show, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
That's it. Thank you very much. I want to ask one of the things that I really like that I don't hear from many people face, at least in the crypto space when we have them on the show. Nobody ever talks about commodities. Okay, we have our commodities drop. I'm bringing it up to talk. So Danger Close Alpha with our NFT project. If you don't know and you want to get involved, dangerclosealpha.com. We are minting some commodities. They're 0.01 ETH right now, and we're giving away 5 Ethereum. So somebody is going to win 5 Ethereum by spending. Effectively, they could have spent 0.01. The more of them you buy, obviously, the more times your name gets on the wheel. But we're giving away 5 Ethereum. You could get it for 0.01. That being said, DangerCloseAlpha.com. One of the things that I like about you, Face, is you talk about commodities. You talk about things other than crypto. You trade crypto a lot. You trade with some big healthy numbers, but you also get into commodities. I want to ask you the state of the world that we are in today and the things that are going on. I know you pay attention to all of that. What are you currently looking at as it relates to the commodities markets? Are you trading anything? Are you long anything? Are you short any? Like, what are you looking at right now?
Yeah, man. So very good question, bro. That's a sick ass question. I got something for you, man. So let me and you hit me with a little sidewinder here. We weren't prepared for this, but I know just what to pull up here. And we're not going to go to oil. We're not going to go to gold. We're going to go to sugar, man. Sugar.
Okay.
Had this long time kind of battle with Nestle and drumsticks and how and it's real, man. Like the conspiracy is real. I've confirmed it with other people. The price of sugar basically dictates the size of the drumstick. The size of the drumstick.
Hold on, back up. Hold on.
No, don't back it up. Don't back it up. Just go.
The price of sugar dictates the size of the drumsticks.
Correct.
Okay,
so,
keep going.
Sugar's gone up since November 2020, 30-40%. If I can show it basically exactly here. If let's see here, November, bada bing, bada boom, 60%. Right now it's at 55%.
Wow.
And which makes sense because these drumsticks, I remember these. I mean, if compared to now, things used to be damn near twice the size. And so, yeah, man. I mean, when you think about like the main ingredient for so many of these shitty food companies that we all eat, at least in America, in the grocery store, I mean, you're talking about the main ingredient, sugar. It's a big deal. But actually, if we peep in kind of on sugar, rate meow.
Are you are you actively trading are you actively trading sugar or
not right now? I did have some sugar positions before. But as of right now, I am not in any sugar positions.
Okay.
But
I thought you were calling him sugar for a minute.
Right now it's kind of in a sideways.
You in any positions there, sugar?
There's a time frame I had up. Okay, here we go. So I mean, it's so funny looking at standard markets compared to crypto because everything's just like super straight and like so you could draw your lines right here and your lines right there, right? And things go much slower. Anyways, money flow's coming back in on sugar. Sugar's at a top right now, but it's like a lot of these commodities, it's at the top and it's sideways, and you know, it's kind of falls in with my theory on October, November. A little ease off the pressure, but if shit hits the fan in January, whether it's, you know, the Russia-Ukraine escalation would be my guess. You know, the president here, I believe, made it illegal for the train employees to strike. Like, there's kind of some dirty shit going on while everyone's focused on some fucking Liver King Instagram asshole they've never even seen, and suddenly everyone knows who the fuck this guy is and cares that he did. Who gives a shit if he's on steroids, right? So if some escalates, January gets ugly. I do see a little prime set up for sugar, for example. I mean, man, you back this up, bro. If you back this up, you tell me what this looks like. Oh, it comes in all those crowd, boom. And then your fucking Nestle drumsticks are even fucking smaller. Even smaller. Yeah, man. I'm keeping an eye on this and yeah, hopefully, you know,
So
It's
the
probably
temperature
gonna
check for the market is, instead of getting into a long or a short position, you just take your ass to the grocery store, you grab yourself a pack of drumsticks, you
happen.
open them up, you start to eat one. But before you do, you notate the size of said drumstick, and then you know where the sugar markets are headed.
You know what's messed up is I had there was a guy on Twitter who actually messaged me that's been, you know, following the Nestle conspiracy, and he's like,
Oh, this is a real conspiracy?
well, yeah, it's real. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, I've brought this in the first time. I brought
No,
up
no,
in
no,
my
no, no. I was
community
just
numerous
thinking
times,
that I was just thinking
and there's
that
other
this was
people
like
that like
your.
drumsticks out there and follow it. And one
I,
guy's like, "Do you think drumsticks have gained a little bit in size, or is it just my like is it my head messing with me?" And I kind of felt what he was talking about. There's a couple times where I'm like, you know, it's your mind gets used to it, but the drumstick is small. Like it used to be almost twice as big. And this was just a year ago, man.
dude,
It's
I agree with you actually. Now
like
that
if
you
you
say
look at them
that,
now, the cone is very small.
yeah, skinny
It's
and
the ice. It's like done in 3 bites, dude, and it
yeah, this is a
sucks.
fact. This is a fact. I actually
Yep.
have never heard that. I am the king. I love a good conspiracy. I have not heard that one. I thought maybe that was just a CryptoFace special. You're saying that that's actively like a conspiracy within some of
Well,
the
that I
community. And
started.
some,
I mean, it's not a it's not a conspiracy. It's real. Like
it's
I
real.
don't know
Right,
what
right,
everyone
right,
else
right.
can
It's
talk
fact.
about. I'm
It's
just saying I'm the one who
factual.
broke the story. I broke the story.
Okay,
But it
you
makes
broke the
sense. I
story.
mean, listen, if you're a big corporation, especially
Yeah,
any business, when your main ingredient, what's a drumstick made out of?
yeah, lots of sugar.
99% sugar in
Yeah,
air.
yeah.
And so, like, you know, it's not their fault if your main ingredient goes up 55%. Of course, they're going to shrink the product size 30 to 40%. And so, man, I wish I had an old box of drumsticks from, you know, last year
To show you.
or 2 years ago. And man, I thought about doing that. Like, you know, I'm gonna buy a box of drumsticks and stick them in a special freezer. And every year we're gonna keep track of that shit.
They never
And it's
last.
not the mini size, man. I remember the first time because I didn't buy drumsticks for like a couple months. Like normal drumstick, new president, shit hit the fan. Like 3 or 4 months went by, sugar went up 30%. Bought a drumstick, and I thought I bought minis. I was like, are these drumstick minis? Like, what the hell's the problem? And they're not. They're not. And so your best bet is to go to some old shitter Indian gas station where they have old fucking drumsticks that have been in the bottom, and those are normal drumsticks. We got to go fishing. Someone's got to go fishing at some shitter gas station that's out there forever to get a good drumstick.
You heard it here first on Debate Crypto, the only place where we are going to be analyzing the size of drumsticks. Thank you very much, Face. I actually I very much enjoyed that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, man.
You know, so commodities are really important though. So next week we do have the Fed meeting that's happening. There's been some chatter as to whether we're going to get 75 basis points, 50 basis points. I heard somebody suggest a 25 basis points. That would make the market go nuts. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Let's wait and see what happens. But I do know that you know, the rest of the markets react always to this news. And so, CBO, you are a proponent of just following the charts. But I just heard you say a little bit ago that you were paying attention to the Fed meeting, or at least you knew the Fed meeting was coming. Are you actively paying attention to that now? Is this a change in some strategy here, or is magic kind of warping your vision on that, or what?
So I don't not necessarily pay like it's a slippery slope. I think that the news at like Fed policy is something that obviously is going to have an effect on markets, right? So
Everything, yeah.
News like FTX collapsing, I think that, you know, while many may disagree, I mean, like I said, like that the timing of that being on the 8th of November, like just the fact that that was the, you know, 1 year, you know, time, like all the things that lined up with like November 7th and 8th, and on top of the areas we lost on the chart, like it, you know, it made sense. I know that that's hard to believe, but I still to this day do not know what the deal is with FTX. Like, I'll put it that way, right? So like I don't know if they're open. I don't know if people got their money back. I don't know. I don't really even know what the issue, what the whole ordeal really was, or like aside from just what I, you know, piecemealed from.
You've paid that little attention to it. You just
stay
it
just, in my, to me, it doesn't change anything for my.
I'm tired of looking at the guy's face. I'm so tired of hearing.
And at this point too, yeah,
face everywhere and hearing about it. Who gives a fuck?
It's been a month and a half at this point, yeah, and it's just he's still like the number one headline, or and I get like people lost money, and that's not the greatest thing, obviously, but it's just in this market, how many times before that happened, was it always, keep your, custody of your things, whatever, like, because any exchange, I mean, I utilize Bybit all the time. And so does Magic. And, we would be, destroyed in a sense, emotionally if Bybit went up, but like, you have to anticipate that that's something, it's not going to ruin us financially because you're not, just all in on one exchange. I mean, it's no Charles Schwab, settings quite yet. There is no regulations for these things, whatever. Anyways, again, on a tangent there, but as far as the Fed goes, I bring that up because of timing. Just as we were looking at that, last chart there, where I was just kind of, once again, bringing up a speculative idea that we could push up to 18K. The timing of that, was on, well, this is big, this is Ethereum. We'll get over to that. But, the timing of that just so happened to, overlap with on the 14th, which I do know that is, the Fed meeting there. But aside from that, I think the news is what traps everybody, man. It really always has been. I think it always will be. I mean, it's definitely something to kind of run with in the idea. But like I said, if picture that we get a move, before the Fed meeting up to this region, news comes out, it's whatever, nothing burgers around, all around there. Everybody FOMOs in, like I said, to this region at 18K, assuming that 15 was the low. Maybe it is. You don't know that yet. But in the short term, like I said, we left a lot of things below us. So, and then we would at that point have had a really nice uptrend, and then to come all the way back down to like 15 and change down here, like at this level right here, would be like nothing, right? To come all the way back down to 15.75 would be nothing.
Would not be that huge of a move. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it would be, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it wouldn't be anything that you shouldn't anticipate, I guess, is what I'm saying. So that'd be a big 12% drop. That would rattle the market, right? And put us all the way back where, the scariest day of last month so far, or one of them, right? 'Cause that's not the low, but I just throw that out there because, like I said, the news is, in my opinion, it's just news will force you to hold the bag at the high, and it'll force you out of the bag at the low. And that's, I guess, where I'm trying to get at. And it's not always, obviously, like I said, it's a slippery slope. There are times when, there's news that moves the market, as some like to say, right, with like certain coins and projects, and you get, pumps out of this or that. But at the end of the day, a lot like Dogecoin for a perfect example. Let's take a look at Dogecoin while we're here, because I'm going to go over a really good example right now.
Let's check it out.
So Dogecoin has been trading flawlessly, in my opinion, right? So, and I'm going to take you back to a time where Twitter, so Mr. Elon Musk, right, comes in and buys Twitter, whatever the case is going to be, right? So on your show for multiple months, so this is from literally like the beginning of this year, almost since April, we were looking for this range basically to be re-entered. And at that point, you have statistical targets here, one of them being 14 cents. And then this weekly here is another one I was looking at, especially after we made this run up to right here. So Dogecoin, right? Anticipating, we went sideways forever. And this was a big move, right? So if we, even just from the entry, which was the range low here, this was like no leverage. This is a 70, 80, 95% move. If you got it right at the point of control, didn't get greedy, waiting on a weekly, whatever, you were looking at
70%. Yeah.
Right. So this is right in the heat of, this is actually right before, this is like November 6th too. So this is right before, I'm sorry, this is Halloween. This is the couple days right before the market drop across the board. So you get this entire move up here. Everyone's like, I saw many people opening new huge positions right here because anticipating that, Doge was going to be integrated with Twitter or whatever the case may have been, right? So, and the news at that point, even if you didn't open new positions here, I guarantee you nobody sold here, because why would you, right? You just saw a really nice move to the upside, overall from low to high, 200% almost. And you're probably down on your position as a whole, maybe from buying in earlier, whatever the case may be. That's the bear market mantra, right? Like, so it's the news right here made everybody hold the bag, when in reality, all this was a simple range rotation. And then you had a bearish bat that essentially fulfilled at this, which is a harmonic pattern based on Fibonacci here. Let me just pull it up here. And with that, we took the short right here, especially once you came back and closed below the weekly level. And once again, you had targets coming all the way down. You had a golden pocket right here. You had a daily level, but your B leg was your main target. So shorted this all the way down. It took a few days to actually get the move underway, but this was a 40, I think 50% at the end of the day move to the downside, almost 60%. Obviously, the whole market came down with this as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a really good example, in my opinion, of the news, right? So it's you can't let it be the only thing driving you, I suppose, is what I kind of want to put across. So.
Yeah, for sure. The news is, for me, that's a lot of what I look at because I'm not actively trading as much. And there's a lot of people that have different stances on whether the news is good, the news is bad. It's great to pay attention to. It's not great to pay attention to. I do know that go ahead, Face. What's up?
I was gonna say, and it's not that it's not good to pay attention to, but it is very much just like trading. Like, when we're looking at Bitcoin, for example, we can go higher at this point. What happened? What's the no? It's we can go higher unless we come back below 1798, right? So it's like the same thing with news, I suppose. If you're going to be strategizing that way for your investments, I'm going to do this if the Fed says that, or so on and so. It's a this or that scenario either way. So It just really depends on what you're going to put your time into personally, like the amount of time that goes into building out charts and this and that. Like, I don't have the time to keep up with the news on the.
You can't trade off the news, bro, because it happens. Like, that's lagging, bro, and like the news makes up a reason, even if it's cost something. Like, there's a million programs and algorithms, and the pre-market shit happens as soon as the market's up, boom. So you can't make a trade like off the news most of the damn time, and if you are, you're getting pittance.
You're gonna miss it, or you're gonna get a small percentage of what you possibly could have. I do want to take a quick pause. We've got a new thing going on. If you want to support the channel, there's a new way to do it. We just have turned on the YouTube memberships, and Crusader's not on here right now. He's got all of the details, but I will tell you, if you're not part of the Danger Close Alpha fam, you need to get to be a part of the DCA fam. We're going to be doing some rewards, some benefits there. We're going to be definitely naming off the people that are members of the channel. So if you want to help support us, a lot of people do super chats. A new way to do that and have a nice little. I think you're going to have like a little PFP or access to some stickers of DCA, among some other things in the Discord and some premium content. I will get you the update on what exactly you're going to be getting, but I do want to let you know that is on. And there's also, if you want to gift somebody some memberships, you can do that as well. And again, follow CryptoFace, follow CVO Crypto. They're doing a great job here as always, and looking forward to continuing to have them on as we continue to press forward with the show. So, gentlemen, my question is this: if we are anticipating what it feels as if a lot of chop, we're moving up, 3, 4, 5, 10%, and then we're coming back 3, 4, 5, 10, 15%. We're anticipating some chop, and we don't have a lot to go off of. I know, like CVO, you've talked about it, like you guys are range trading. That's kind of a strategy that you guys use combined with time. Face, when you're trading, I know you use a number of different things as it relates to Market Cipher. Is there anything simple for the person that's in here that says, hey, listen, I'm just getting involved in trading? Is there any sort of a simple technique maybe that you would say is something where people could start? They maybe they're not in this, full time. They're not sitting at their computer all day long. Is there something that they can do, and maybe one or two things that you would suggest maybe they look at to help them with their journey towards being a better trader?
I mean, are you asking? I mean, for me, it's I would tell people basic strategy on Market Cipher. I mean, you could take a bum.
Can you pull it up and show a couple of just?
I mean, that takes too much fucking time, bro. You can go to the website, look at the tutorials. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we lay out a clear 4, 5 step, 6 step. Here's what I'll tell you: no matter what strategy it is, I think the mistake people make is overcomplicating shit and always wanting an answer for everything. Whether it's, if you're going over a harmonic pattern, they'll just, well, why? But what about this? But why? But why? But why? And it's like, stop focusing on the why and just do it. No matter what it is. So whether it's no matter what, I think that's the most important thing to me is keeping it simple and not asking so many damn questions and mind screwing yourself. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And risk management. Always risk management.
I've definitely learned my lesson there. I think I've heard your business partner, CVO, I have heard him tell a good story on risk management. He has lost a boatload of money and had to learn that lesson the hard way with risk management. Speaking of risk management, CVO, what about leverage trading? So a lot of people like the idea of putting some, torquing up some leverage on there. What would you say to the person that's kind of maybe newer to the trading space and they want to play around with leverage? They're not going to listen to you when you say, no, don't do it. They're going to, they're going to do it anyway. So what would you say as it relates to leverage trading?
I would say no, don't do it. No. Biggest key, I think, the one thing I think that everybody really has to hammer home is that if you are going to try to become a trader, it's going to take at least 3 to 5 years before you're profitable. Like that's just that, like no matter what, no matter who you are, how you are, like you're not gonna be able to quit your job and live off of trading for years, right? And then even with that comes its own set of things, right? Because then you're talking capital gains and your taxes are different, and you're dealing with crypto at this point too. So you're talking about moving money from exchanges and this and that. Like it's a huge stress, right? So it takes a lot. And my biggest suggestion would be if you're going to mess around with because like what I do, like in the trade I was showing you earlier, we're talking about, we didn't even get the chance on tonight, but that's okay. It was a leverage trade with Ethereum today, right? And one of the biggest reasons was it came down to a key level. Got the reclaim, had a pretty clear invalidation. I did put a little too much, like not too much, but I don't want to like show the trade itself because it's not really important about the leverage that I was using. But it was a clear trade, and I only had it was only a 1% risk, right? So it is what it was. And that's the biggest thing about it too, is that leverage comes down to the amount of risk. It shouldn't matter, like if you're going to go 50x, 20x, whatever, the amount of capital that you're willing to risk should still remain the same. Leverage is really just a tool to be able to have less capital available on exchanges. So you can trade $1,000 on Bybit and you can 10x it. So essentially you're trading 10K instead of having 10K of your money in a spot position on FTX, for example. But I would say if you got to grow a small account first. If you can't grow a small account, you're not going to grow a large account. Start with $100, $20, and 2x, 5x, whatever you want. So go 50x if you want. But have a plan, a strategy in place, and try to make 10% a month or whatever that number may be. And then the biggest thing too is what we were going over with a couple of guys earlier is that you sometimes you got to wait, man, for the right time. And when you make a move, patience. But when you make the move, journal the results is a big one that we kind of preach. And it's just like whether it's a win or a loss, like learn from it. So the next trade, next time we come up to these regions, when we're pushing into a 200% move on Dogecoin and Elon's buying Twitter, was that the right time to buy? Like that's the kind of stuff, right? Like to kind of piecemeal around. So that would be my suggestion with that. One thing that I was going to show too for news wise, which not it's just something that just once again kind of here. This was actually like obviously FTX and FTT came about, and they had bad news going on, right? So let me see if I can scroll this over. But this was like we were looking at FTT. Let me see if I can. You can't even actually access the chart anymore because I think it got delisted, which is grand.
Lol.
Yeah. All right.
Did you say lol?
He did.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to share the screen here, right? So, on November the 8th, which was basically the day the whole market hit the brakes, right? Be sure to watch today's public stream. Covered the chart. FTT just back tested $22, range low, needs to re-enter the range for upside. Otherwise, really no support until the untapped yearly below, which this was just, the price action here alone, it was just, I don't have the whole chart, I guess, on here, but it had such a monstrous rally up that losing this level was just technical as can be. And the next area was not down till about $4.48, all the way down to $1.45. And we basically met all those targets essentially. And this was like, 78% just to the 12M. Otherwise you had like a 90%. I mean, it obviously went to zero pretty much, but the news obviously came in at the same time, but it's just something that you can also just have a strategy for it. And it's just, when the levels start getting lost, you can make adjustments. So the news and everything pairs with it, I would say too. And like I said, I don't try to say the news is not worth paying attention to. It just doesn't work for me. And I, I manage. So
you said you manage without listening to the news.
Yeah, I manage without listening to it. Yeah.
I hear you. Well, Crypto fam, listen, we appreciate you all for being here. We love you. You could be anywhere tonight and you're hanging out with the three of us. Make sure again to follow CryptoFace, Follow CVO. All their socials are down below, or at least a couple of their socials are down below the stream. We appreciate them for being here. Thank you for coming on, gentlemen. If you have not hit the likes, there's 178 people in here right now. I'm hoping to see at least 178 likes, maybe even more, because some people came in and out. We would really appreciate that. Let's YouTube know that, hey, we're doing something right. Jump into the Danger Close Alpha Discord. Do your thing there. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on all the socials. You know what time it is. Question everything. Trust nothing.
No one.
And until next time, do you know the end of it, Face?
Christmas like it's not.
Trust no is question everything. Trust no
Trust
one.
nothing. Trust nothing.
Trust nothing.
And until next time.
Oh God, buy some sugar.
And until next time, buy some sugar or check your drumsticks.
Just kidding. No, thanks for having me on. It's fun times. I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. But thank you.
It's hodl like it's hot.
That's
we will see you soon.
Hot like you in that sweatshirt or that t-shirt there, sir.
I'm telling you, we're gonna start selling them. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you got to sell that shit. All right.